Somewhere in a store you've walked past 100 times. There's a rack holding clothing better made than anything 2 aisles over, and the woman who shops it on purpose usually walks out looking sharper than the one who spent 4 times as much. I know that because I used to be the one overpaying. I stood in a department store years ago, paid full price for a blouse with a designer name stitched inside the collar, wore it twice, and watched the seams give out within a year. That was the last time I trusted a price tag to do my thinking for me. Since then, I've tested more brands than I can count, and today I'm ranking the 7 that earned it worst to best. Number 1 is not the brand you're expecting, and once I tell you why it beat 6 others most people would rank higher, you'll understand exactly what separates a lucky find from a brand actually worth building a wardrobe around. Welcome back to Stylish 60 Plus. I'm Jennifer, and this channel exists for one reason. Looking elegant after 60 should never require a designer budget. If you're new, welcome, you've picked a good day to start. Picture the closet most of us have lived with at some point. Packed edge to edge and somehow still nothing to wear. That's not a shopping problem. That's an intention problem. Pieces bought for a moment instead of a purpose. 7 brands, ranked from good to essential, starting now. If style over 60 is something you care about, hit subscribe before we start. It costs nothing, and it means you won't miss what's coming. Number 7. The store brand basics nobody respects until they try them. We start with the brand almost everyone underestimates. Big box store basics. I know the instinct walk past, assume cheap means flimsy. A few years ago, that instinct would have been correct. Thin fabric, unflattering fits, colors that faded in the wash. But somewhere along the way, several of these labels quietly rebuilt themselves. Heavier cotton blends, better drape, necklines that actually sit where they're supposed to, all still under $20. A wrap dress from one of these lines skims the middle instead of clinging to it. A cardigan layers over nearly anything already in your closet. Here's a trick almost nobody mentions. If you're short-waisted, check the petite section, even if you've never shopped petite before. A regular top can hit at an awkward length, while the same piece cut petite lands right at the hip, a small adjustment that changes how put together you look from across a room. It sits at number 7 because the good pieces are mixed in with the ordinary ones, and you have to hunt. But the hunting pays off far more often than the price tag suggests it should. Number 6, the foundation brand that never once let you down. One step up is a brand that never runs a flashy campaign. No celebrity face, no viral moment, just classic, well-built pieces for real bodies that don't need to apologize for having lived a little. Their knit tops hold their shape wash after wash, which sounds small until you remember how many soft, lovely sweaters turn into shapeless sacks after one trip through the laundry. Their trousers sit at the natural waist instead of sliding the moment you reach for something on a high shelf. This is a foundation brand, not a special occasion one. A cream cardigan, navy trousers, a structured blouse that goes with everything, the pieces that make getting dressed feel easy instead of stressful. A woman in this community once told me she almost walked past a plain charcoal crew neck from this exact rack, certain it was too basic to bother with. She tried it on out of guilt for taking so long to decide, and it fits so well she now owns it in 4 colors. 3 winters later, it's outlasted 2 sweaters she paid double for elsewhere. Reliable, dependable, never flashy, that's exactly why it holds steady at number 6, but dependable is exactly what most closets are missing, and it's about to get a lot more interesting. Number 5, the clearance section everyone walks past. Number 5 is the biggest hidden gem on the list. A legacy outdoor and classic wear brands outlet and clearance section. Most people only think of this brand for swimwear, which is exactly why its clearance rack stays so underrated. We're talking blazers, silk blend blouses, and classic trousers marked down from $80 or $90 to $15, sometimes less if your timing is right. The quality rivals brands charging 4 times as much thick fabric, real buttons instead of plastic ones, seams that don't fray after a single wash. I found a camel wool blend coat there for under $30 3 winters ago. Full price, it would have run well over $100. It's been the star of my winter wardrobe every year since, and it still looks brand new. Check the clearance section online every couple of weeks instead of waiting for a big sale event. New markdowns roll in quietly, and the best pieces disappear fast once other savvy shoppers catch on. It ranks above the last 2 because the quality ceiling is genuinely higher. The treasure hunt just takes a little more patience. Number 4, the layering line built for real arms. This one rarely makes anyone's list, and that's exactly the problem I want to fix today. It's a mid-tier line best known for cardigans, ponchos, and open front layers pieces that solve something a lot of us deal with quietly: wanting coverage on the upper arms without losing shape or looking like you're hiding. Their sleeves are cut generously through the bicep and taper at the wrist, so the whole piece drapes instead of pulling. Their necklines sit a touch lower than you'd expect from a modest brand, which somehow makes the outfit look more current instead of matronly. One open front cardigan in a rich jewel tone turns a plain tee and jeans into something intentional in about 10 seconds. A woman messaged me privately after one of my layering videos. She'd stopped going to her granddaughter's dance recitals for almost 2 years because she felt self-conscious in short sleeves, and no amount of family encouragement had changed her mind. She tried one poncho-style cardigan from this brand on a whim. She told me it wasn't really about the cardigan, it was that for the first time in a long time, she stopped thinking about her arms the second she left the house. She made it to the next recital. That's what earns this brand its spot at number 4, ahead of 3 brands most people would assume are better simply because they're more famous. If this list is already changing how you'll shop next time, tap the like button. It tells me these breakdowns are worth making, and it helps another woman find this video too. Number 3, the Minimalist brand everyone assumes is overpriced. Here's one most women walk past because the store itself looks expensive. Clean lines, gallery-style lighting, price tags that read steeper than they actually are once you account for what's inside. This brand leans heavily on organic cotton, responsible wool, and linen, with noticeably heavier fabric and cleaner stitching at every stress point than you'd expect for the price. Independent reviewers have repeatedly noted that the basics here, plain tees, wide-legged trousers, simple knit sweaters, last for years of regular wear instead of 1 or 2 seasons. The design language is deliberately timeless. Nothing here chases a trend that expires in 6 months, which means a piece bought today can still anchor an outfit 5 years from now. A longtime viewer wrote in saying she'd avoided this brand for years, assuming it was out of her budget entirely. She finally tried one sweater on clearance, and her daughter asked where she'd suddenly started shopping. The outfit read as far more expensive than it was. That single comment is why this brand climbs to number 3. It doesn't just fit the body well, it changes how the whole outfit is perceived at a glance. 2 left, and they're both going to surprise you for very different reasons. Number 2, the app you keep scrolling past. Number 2 might already be sitting in an app on your phone right now. Most people scroll past it looking for something with a fancier name, but this line has become a genuine sleeper hit among women who've figured out the secret. Button-down blouses that fit true to size, which sounds simple but is rarer than you'd think when shopping online. Cardigans in shades that flatter mature skin tones. Soft rose, warm camel, deep forest green, colors that photograph beautifully, and red as expensive even though they were anything but. Because returns are painless, the risk of shopping sight unseen almost disappears entirely. A viewer told me she'd avoided ordering clothes online for years, certain she'd waste money on things that never fit. She finally tried this brand after watching one of my earlier videos, and it was the first online order that fit perfectly on the very first try. She said the confidence of knowing her money wasn't being wasted mattered almost as much as the clothing itself. It ranks second, not because it's flashy, but because it removes the single biggest fear most of us carry into online shopping and does it consistently, order after order. Number 1, the brand that invests in fabric instead of marketing. Here it is, and I meant it earlier when I said this isn't the brand you're expecting. It's not the most exciting name on this list. The designs are intentionally minimal to the point that style-conscious shoppers sometimes dismiss it as too plain. It earns the top spot for a completely different reason: what's actually in the fabric. This label uses long staple cotton that's genuinely rare, the kind luxury basics brands charge $60 to $90 for at a fraction of that price. Reviewers who've worn these tees through years of washing report they resist pilling, hold their shape, and actually soften over time instead of breaking down. Their thermal technology generates warmth from body moisture using engineered ultra-thin fibers, a proprietary approach no competitor at this price point has matched. Their breathable, moisture-wicking basics perform closer to athletic wear than ordinary fashion basics, and a designer collaboration line offers elevated cuts at the exact same price as everything else on the rack. This is a brand that puts its budget into the material instead of the billboard, and that's exactly why it beats 6 brands that are, on paper, far more fashionable. One viewer named Susan replaced her entire t-shirt drawer with pieces from this brand after a video very much like this one. 8 months later, not one has stretched out, faded, or lost its shape, something she said had never happened with anything she'd bought before, at any price, designer or otherwise. That's not luck. That's what happens when a brand invests where it actually counts. The one rule that ties all 7 together. Here's the bonus tip I promised you. The real secret to shopping any of these 7 brands well is never buying with a single outfit in mind. Ask yourself instead, how many different ways could this piece work in my closet? A blazer that only works with 1 pair of trousers is a purchase. A blazer that works with jeans, a dress, and 3 other tops is an investment. That single shift in thinking is what separates a closet full of clutter from a closet full of pieces you actually reach for every single day. Tell me in the comments, did I get number 1 right? Or is there a brand you'd have ranked above it? I read every single reply, and some of my best discoveries on this channel have come directly from women like you. Style was never about the label sewn into the collar. It's about the choices you make, the care you put into pairing pieces together, and the confidence you carry once the outfit is on. That confidence isn't for sale, but the wardrobe that supports it absolutely is, and now you know exactly where to find it. If you're not subscribed yet, this is your sign. Join us next time on Stylish 60 Plus, where we go even deeper into building a wardrobe that feels like you at a price that respects your budget. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.